Hello, my awesome people. I hope you guys are doing super good wherever you may be, whenever you're listening to this. I hope that you're being blessed with peace and goodness and health and wellness for you and your families. I just got done eating dinner and had a nice walk with my daughter earlier, which is always a blessing that doesn't happen too often. So I'm feeling spiritually full and super good. And I just got done with that and wanted to pop on and make you a short video too. I am going to read part of continue chapter 5 of Gift of the Red Bird. But before I do that, I wanted to share something with you. I was talking yesterday in my last video that I made about finding peace and stillness within, and I ran across something I wrote down in a notebook from one of the first times I began practicing meditation, and I know how challenging that can be for some people, but I wanted to share this with you because this is one of the first experiences that I had. And this is one of the very first times I actually wrote anything down after an experience. And I just want you to get an idea, if you don't have one already, of the kind of peace that is inside you, that is just waiting for you at any moment to tap into that and discover that. But I'll go ahead and read this, and I just want you to know that whatever you're dealing with and whatever you may be going through, or if you're just trying to get to a more peaceful place in your life, you know that it's not very far. It's so much closer than you know, just like God, and just because we don't feel it doesn't mean it's not there. So, but I ran across this and I was reading and I was like, wow. It was pretty amazing that I think about all the practices and stuff that I put in since then, and where I am now with all that, and moments where I can reach to find stillness and quiet. It works so much quicker for me now. And I remember the challenge of sitting there, and I remember what it was like to, and even still, don't get me wrong, but in the beginning, what it was like to try and quiet the mind to get to a peaceful place where you can actually experience, the stillness and experience the meditation, so to speak, experience that kind of, and that peace. And I wanted to read this to you. I thought, well, and this was right there, inside of me, and probably even 15 minutes prior to doing the meditation that day, I had no idea I was going to experience something so profound, or that something like this even did exist in life in general. We get tastes of things throughout, experiences or things that we do in our life, and we think we understand what peace might be, or we think we understand what happiness might be, we think we understand what joy or, whatever may be, until we truly one day experience it in such a bigger and different way than you're thinking, like, wow, all along I thought it was X, and it was definitely different than that. It was bigger, and things can, we can grow and evolve, and the level of what we experienced something at one point definitely can grow and always change and get bigger and more enjoyable. But so I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. I hope that you find some enjoyment in it. I wrote my beginning without beginning or end. If I wasn't breathing, I would have been as still as a rock. I became a statue. All my limbs felt as one. I was completely connected. I wasn't in my head. I felt completely centered inside myself. I felt no movement or sensation. I was completely still. No words, no sounds. It clung to me. I unknowingly smiled. I became aware of the stillness. It held me in that place. No trying. I couldn't even try to undo it. It held me in peace. I was peace. It felt completely wonderful. I had no control over the release. It let go of me when it was time. When I was ready, it did not go out of me. For now I know, truly know, it is within me. Oh, when I even read that now, it sort of brings me back to that. I didn't sit down. It's not like I sat down to try to write some sort of spiritual poem or something. That's literally was my experience with that. And I just want you to truly know that that's really there and available to you. Just have to give yourself trust yourself and believe that it really is there. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to understand that certain things exist if we don't see them first or touch them or something like that. It took me 40 some years to find God because I never had that connection, just because it's something I couldn't see physically or touch that I knew of, right? Little did I know I was looking at it every day and looking at God every day, and I was feeling God only, like the energy part of it, which, well, I didn't know that. Now I know the difference between energy and what I feel, and the difference between the Holy Spirit and what I feel. So we just have to go to that place, find that stillness, so we can experience these incredible things that are here for us. I mean, truly incredible, even just human beings, what we can experience in so many different ways. Spiritually, in our, what we can experience spiritually and mentally, so much. It's truly incredible. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That it was pretty cool that I never would have known that this many years later I would have been sharing it with someone like this, like in this way, or sharing it at all, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and read you some of, we're in the middle of chapter 5 of Gift of the Red Bird, and thank you for being here with me, and we're going to pick this up and see how far we get, because like I said, the last time this chapter is a little bit bigger, so I try not to go too long so I don't lose you. But either way, the last one that I read was September 1988 at age 40, and now we're in winter of 1989. Today I called Lady Lodge in Leakey, Texas, to make an unusual request. Even though my class of 4, 2 more defaults, is preparing to go together with the teachers to quest for vision in Wyoming, I continue to feel strongly directed to spend my wilderness time in a particular Texas canyon that I love. The inner insistence to do it this way will not go away, so I follow my own guidance. Isn't that what this is all about? I ask the retreat center director if I may use their canyon for 7 days in May when they are not in session. The land will be deserted, and there is no place on earth more beautiful or comforting to me than those Texas hills. They answer, yes. They answer yes and further make available a cottage named Lodestar, where I can orient myself for 2 days before and after my wilderness time. I take a deep breath and order my airline tickets. May of 1989. I sit on the plane heading toward Texas, and my hands are trembling. My heart pumps at twice its normal rate. What is my fear? It takes too much energy to get quiet and name it. I have to use my energy to breathe. I do know that I hate the waiting. I wish the tent were already set up, and I wish I was in it. I wish the quest had already begun. Do I live this way a lot? Ahead? This very moment is the only reality. I try to pull myself back. Breakfast trays are wheeled down the aisle. Will I be able to eat? My stomach is so filled with fear. How could there be more room for food? I feared this morning that I would sleep through the alarm. I feared I would be late arriving at the airport and miss the flight. When I wasn't late, I feared that since I had made the plane, my baggage wouldn't. Then I happened to see my baggage being loaded right onto the plane, and I immediately changed my fear to one that the baggage will suddenly be lost when I make my connection to Dallas. I sicken myself. Is this really a picture of me? My prayer group are all praying for me. I feel Hazel's spirit, especially sure and strong. She sends me a spirit of calm, if only I could receive it. I read the prayer she has given me to take along. Go when the morning shineth. Go when the noon is bright. Go when the eve declineth. Go when the high of night. Go with the pure mind and feeling, fling earthly cares away. And in the chamber kneeling, do thou in secret pray. How nice is that? I will pin this prayer inside my tent. It helps. What do I fear? I'm not certain my greatest fear is the hunger, although I've said that to many people. I'm not sure it's the long days or the fear of the night. I may be lonely at times and scared in the dark, but I will endure it, I think. I suspect the great fear is about the unknown. I'm going off alone to meet the wilderness and look at my life. And I will bring nothing with me to defend me, not my house, the dollars in my wallet, my friends, my educational degrees. Those will all be useless there. I will be naked. There will be nothing in between me and God. A stewardess interrupts my thoughts and explains the safety devices above the aircraft. Safety? Flying into the upper atmosphere in the machine is an act of faith. How is it safe? I look at my seatbelt, 16 inches of nylon strapping. It can hold me in the seat, but can it truly protect me? I have this image of all the violent forces of the universe poised against me, and my seatbelt matched against them like Excalibur. It does make me laugh. I think of the way that I live. Carrying keys and locking up my possessions over and over again. Locking my car, locking away jewelry, alarm systems against intruders. Does it all make me safe? Not if the greatest enemies really are within. Maybe I've spent 41 years fortifying the wrong fortress. I check my watch. Friends should be waking up now. They will remember me and pray. I think of Beth, snug in her bed, soon to face her small universe of school, books, teachers, and lessons. I imagine her walking toward the bus stop and smile. We are all on adventures, and even miles above the earth, the love of family and friends finds me. The pilot announces that we are flying from Boston to Texas via Canada. I shake my head. This journey is already out of my hands. South, in native tradition, is the direction of innocence and trust. Do I have things to learn about trust that I don't even guess? Load star, I'm here. My baggage made it, and I made it. I spend all afternoon until sunset looking for the right place to carry out this quest. But I can't find a place which seems like my spot. I consider one clearing where a cactus is in full, brilliant bloom. I love the yellow blossoms, but nothing else about the area feels right. While hiking, I find a buzzard's feather and a stone shaped like a dove. I bring both of them back to Lodestar with me. Twice while hiking, I encountered deer, and my heart raced. A hawk circled my head and continued to fly above me as I walked. I wondered if his presence was a greeting or a blessing. Now I sit on the porch at Lodestar and hold the buzzard's feather in my hand, wondering why it was on my path. The thinking I've done about sameness and routines has sharpened my attention. My teachers also advised us that many things may come to teach us, even a feather. How? All day, as I searched for my place, I considered the fact that the wilderness I am really here to explore is within me. I hardly know my own terrain. I've lived for 41 years looking in other directions. When you quest for new vision, something will be left behind and something gained. What do I want to leave behind? My grief is what comes quickly to mind. I feel ready to operate out of a new consciousness. I also remember the teacher's advice to make fear your ally. He said that fear teaches you self-awareness and self-respect. That's difficult to understand, but I keep repeating it to myself. Lean into your fear, not away. Make fear your ally. I wonder what the fasting will be like. In my 12-hour practice fast, I was astonished at my reactions and feelings. Knowing that I was beginning a fast, I immediately felt unsafe and ravenously hungry. Then I began to see how much time I spend with food. My day is organized around it, preparing it, eating it, thinking about it. Food makes me feel safe. I never knew that before. Apparently, I eat regularly, regardless of my appetite. That day of my practice fast, I gave up after 30 minutes. If I feel pangs of hunger when I can't possibly be hungry, then what am I hungry for? What is food trying to fill? Maybe I won't be able to do this quest after all. I'm afraid I'll fail in some way. I won't do it perfectly or get it done right. These doubting voices are so me. I have to repeat to myself that I will do this the way that I do it and I believe God will honor me, however that is. I don't want doing this perfectly to become my focus. I want to accept myself as I am, consciously or unconsciously. My bills are paid, my desk clear, all my correspondence is up to date. I have prepared for the death of whatever in me needs to die before something new can be born. I think I am ready. It's interesting. I sit there and think about how very seldomly anybody hears pages turn or flip anymore, you know? Everyone's using laptops or computers and things like that. I love reading from a book, touching it, or even writing letters with a pen. Oh, those are good things. Nothing like the energy that you receive when someone writes you a handwritten letter, you know? Opening it, reading it, the time it takes. You know, the color pen, their handwriting, all of that. Yeah, I appreciate all that stuff. I like flipping pages. I like that, hearing the pages flip. Now we are on Sunday. Tomorrow it all begins. I feel very frightened, and the fear fills me enough to even keep away my hunger. I who am always hungry. I sit on the porch at Lodestar. I notice that I am chilly in the midday heat. I try to have a time of worship, facing the hills. I read Psalm 8 and cry. I want to read, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, and simply cannot remember what psalm it is. I know it as well as my name, but I can't think of it. I observe how fear apparently affects memory and thinking. My right eye hurts, and it's sometimes swollen. Maybe it's infected. Will I be okay? Is something terrible going to happen to it, and I'll be all alone and without help? Will this cancel my quest? Do I secretly wish it would? I take a deep breath. Maybe it's even important to my quest. I am seeking new vision, and my eye responds. Perhaps it tells me that this is where I am wounded. My seeing is not clear. A truck pulls up into the driveway, and it's Eddie's. It feels so good to see a friend. The final hour of weekend retreat at Lady Lodge is beginning. Then everyone will leave the canyon. Before going home, he thought I might like to pray with someone. He has never been more right. He reads from Isaiah 43:18 and 19. Do not call to mind the former things, or ponder things of the past. Behold, I will do something new. Now it will spring forth. Will you not be aware of it? I will even make a roadway in the wilderness, rivers in the desert. I read Hazel's poem and a verse by T.S. Eliot. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. I like that. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time. We wonder aloud what I'll find, and in silence we break bread and drink cups of juice. I'm fully present in the moment, and it is truly worship. Eddie gives me a map of the terrain, and when the canyon is empty, I hike west of Lodestar, still searching for my spot. Some of the way is steep, but after an hour's hike, I find a clearing circle of bushes of violet sage. From this spot, I can see the river. There is a feeling of recognition. This is the place where I will wait with God. For safety, I will carry a walkie-talkie which will be monitored by lady employees who live a few miles away. They've already sat down with me to talk about wildlife in the area and potential dangers. I guess I'm as prepared as I will ever be. I walk back to Lodestar wondering what the hike will feel like tomorrow when I have jugs of water and sleeping gear to carry. It's evening and I sit outside to watch the sunset. A small green insect sits with me for over 2 hours, hugging the rim of the chaise cushion. Is he sleeping? Waiting? Whatever, he is in no hurry. Maybe that's the message. A hummingbird sucks nectar from a nearby flower. I can barely believe the volume of its hum. He's like a small motor. I have never noticed a hummingbird before. I took my watch off a day ago, so I have no idea what time it is, except by watching the sun. I'm still barely hungry. I think about going inside to get a muffin, but then hear my stomach asking why I would do that if I'm not hungry. It is remarkable to observe how food has become a habit. I used to fill empty time and space. And it's good to already be so quiet that I know this. Instead of eating, I go to bed. I'm going to go ahead and stop reading right there. So that was on Sunday, and we're going to pick up on Monday. You can see this is not a very big book, so this is where we're at now. So we just have chapter 5 and 6, I believe, so we're almost done with that. I hope you enjoy the reading. I enjoy reading to you, with you, as always. And when she was talking about her eyesight and having her eyes swell up and things like that, I know I've talked in the past in other videos. I think even posted something by Jordan Peterson called Clean Your Room, which gives some insight about that, but I have personal experience. I don't just speak it from opinion, but personal experience with things around you that you see with your body. Things can happen, say something with your eye or a skin rash, itching, maybe something with your nose or your ears or whatever part can definitely be a sign. Not maybe that just something is wrong with you, but there's something inside that is also giving you clues to something that needs to be looked at. And it's not always just physical stuff. Usually most of our physical problems come from a spiritual problem or mental, instability in our emotional energy. That's where most illnesses and most problems stems from. So I do know that, like, say if something is off with your vision and things like that, that if you balance out your inner vision, that your outer vision will clear. That's just a brief example. So I won't get into all of that good stuff right now. So it has a much deeper meaning than we're already at 30 minutes, so I'll keep going right now. I hope that you enjoyed that reading so much, and I always look forward to when I will be seeing you again. I usually never know when that is, because I just go by the divine clock. So, but I've been here. Here I am today. Now that's what's important, and I'm here, and you're here, and thank you so much for being here. And I will sending so much peace and healing goodness and love, and good energy and prayers to you and your families, for healing and prosperity and abundance in all forms. In all forms. Thank you for these days, and remember to be grateful for what we do have. Focus on the good things. Focus on the positives. And find good in every day. And learn something new every day, even if it's something small. And smile. Smile at others. Spread peace and love. Hope to see you soon. Love you guys. God is good. God is great. Good thoughts, good things. Good thoughts, good things.